Hello, hello, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite things ever, and that's going to be my top favorite book boyfriends of all time. Today I have 7 sexy, gorgeous, wonderful, sweet, and sometimes bad men to talk about. I like them all, from as sweet as they can be, buttery, adorable, goodness, to the complete assholes. And I've got a wide range of all kinds of books to talk about today. So the first one out of my 7 is going to be Ali Martinez, Among the Echoes. This is about Dr. Erica Hill and Slate Andrews. I will start off by saying that there is a trigger warning for rape. There is a very vivid, detailed rape scene in the very beginning of this book. Other than that, this book is just so totally sweet. Okay, so Dr. Erica Hill, at the very beginning of this book, witnesses a crime and she ends up being maliciously raped. One of the guys that was in the group with her ends up being an undercover cop agent, and he has to witness her being raped as well. And they end up becoming best friends. She gets in a witness protection program, so she has a different name all the time, every single city that she goes to. And her and Leo, who is one of the main security guys, and he's in a further book, so you do get his love story as well. They have this amazing connection and they're best friends, but they go undercover, and she's working this little small job. They live in this really kind of small apartment complex, not really a good one, and their neighbor ends up being Slate Andrews, the MMA fighter. He's on his downtime. He just won this huge fight and is wanting to just relax and go to an area where not very many people know him. And he ends up meeting Erica, who is under a different alias at that time, and he falls for her. He doesn't necessarily know what it is about her or why she's acting a certain way. She gets really scared off, super standoffish around men. But he picks up on certain aspects of who she is, and he's super sweet with her. He's super kind and caring, and it is slow burn and it's adorable, and he is just he is like the sweetest, most down to earth. He's my very favorite character of all of Ali Martinez's characters. I truly adore them. This is a standalone, but this is between 2 different types of series. All of her series kind of interconnect in a way. And so if you see one series, if you get into one book, then a lot of the times you'll see characters into other books. But this is a complete standalone. You can read it. It's so adorable. I just love it. Okay, so we went off on a super sweet one. That was our number 7. So number 6, let's go with an asshole, shall we? Let's go with Hardin Scott by After. Oh my goodness. Anna Todd has taken dysfunctional relationship to a whole new level, and I am here for it. I love Hardin Scott. He is a hot mess. He's a bad boy. He's a jerk. Anything that could be wrong in a man, Hardin Scott has done it. From filming girls while he's sleeping with them and then posting the video, to all kinds of, just bets, everything you can imagine that is just horrible and wrong and you would never want in a real relationship is in this book. But it is addictive. This is book crack. It is so good. These books are huge and you will fly through them. It's definitely not something that you want to base a real relationship off of. This is a true, kind of a horror story whenever it comes to actual romance. But I am just, there's something about Hardin that just, he has my heart. I love him. I love him. I want to take care of him. And, I love this book. What can I say? I love, love, love Hardin Scott. Everyone says that your first is special, and that's true for me, especially regarding my first book boyfriend. I know, once again, cliche, cheesy, I don't care. I love a good Edward Cullen. I was 18 years old. He was my very first book boyfriend ever. And so, of course, the fifth spot has to go into him. I think everybody knows this story. Everybody knows who Edward Cullen is. I'm not going to go ahead and go too much into this, but I will say that because he's my first, he has to make the list. Coming in at number 4 is Lane Bradford with the Bourbon Kings. This book is so good. Okay, so I know J.R. Ward is definitely known for her Black Dagger Brotherhood, her paranormal romance, and of course that is one of my favorite series. But I was super surprised whenever it came to reading The Bourbon Kings. I fell in love with Lane Bradford. This book is so good. It is suspenseful, and it is it's kind of a whodunit in the end. It is so good, and all of these characters are so fucked up, guys. Every one of these characters are so screwed up. Okay, so this is about Lizzie King and Lane Bradford. Lizzie King is the gardener for the Bradford estate. She's like the main gardener. This is like a huge estate. These are, they're the Bourbon Kings. So this is in Kentucky, and they have this huge mansion. They have the main part of the Kentucky bourbon is all of theirs. They have their own distillery, and they have their own, they throw all these huge parties. They've been known for having, to be the kings in that area. And so Lizzie King is, she's the gardener. She works for them. She's the help, lives in a little small area. She fell in love with Lane Bradford a couple of years ago. And in that time, they had this really awesome connection, and then Lane just disappears. He goes off to another state. Lane Bradford is the son. He's the youngest son in the Bradford estate. He is going to be the one to take over all of the Bourbon King distillery. He is one of the main characters, one of the main guys. There's a total of 3 brothers and sisters, and their stories are all intertwined together in these 3 books. All 3 books by the Bourbon Kings is all about Lizzie and Lane. However, the side characters all kind of get a happily ever after as well. I love the sister. She is batshit crazy, and I adored her. I loved every character in this book, but Lane Bradford he is strong, and he starts out as kind of a little bit of a weak character at the beginning. You get to know him, but he's kind of a playboy, likes to drink, doesn't really do a lot, doesn't know a lot about the bourbon that their whole family sells, doesn't really do anything. But as things go on and progress, and there's a mystery in here. I don't want to give too much away. There's a mystery in here, and he starts to step up his game. He becomes more aware of the company. He becomes more aware of what's going on in the murder mystery thing that's going on in this book. And I truly adored him. This is a really, really, really good series. You need to pick it up. Coming in at number 3 is Slade in the Protector series by Teresa Gableman. Now, this series is not a standalone series. It is just about one main couple, one main guy and girl, but I think that if you were to just start reading this book, you would be really confused. It is not the first in the series, but there's something about Slade. He has my heart. I love him. He's one of my favorite book boyfriends of all time, obviously. So Slade is kind of the vampire doctor. These are a group of warriors, and the warriors do get injured and hurt, and he is the one who helps them. And it's his love story with Jill. Jill was just recently turned into a vampire, and she's going through the warrior program to help out, and their love story is kind of a slow burn over multiple books. So through the series, you really get to know Jill, you really get to know Slade, you get to see their chemistry and then them denying that chemistry all the time. and you want them to get together so badly. So by the time this book hits, it's like, oh, thank God, finally. All right, so this series is just, it's hilarious, it's good. Their romance, their chemistry is so hot. It is so, yum. That's all I can say. This book is just yummy. I have to admit that the first and second book boyfriends were super hard to pick. I just had the hardest time deciding who was coming in at number 2 versus who was coming in at number 1. And I finally decided I'm gonna go with Zadist from J.R. Ward, Lover Awakened. Everybody knows that this is like the most popular book. I think Zadist, if you are a Black Dagger Brotherhood fan, Zadist is almost always going to be everybody's favorite, and that is no exception with me. He is the tortured hero. He is the one that has been seriously hurt, and you don't think that he'll ever find love again. He's kind of just soulless. And then he meets Bella, and Bella just totally saves him. I love Bella. I love Zadist. And the ending, if anybody has read this book, you know that ending is just something special. I haven't seen an ending before or after that I have loved as much as this book. I don't want to give too much away, because if you haven't read this book, it's going to give out spoilers. So I don't want to give too much away. I will just say, Black Dagger Brotherhood, if you haven't read it yet, where are you even living? You're not living. You're not living if you haven't read the Black Dagger Brotherhood. Come on, get with the program, read the books already. All right, are we ready for number 1? I'm ready for number 1. And that's gonna be Thoughtless by S.C. Stevens. Kellen Kyle is so special to me. I have not found a book boyfriend who has been able to surpass him. He is gorgeous and beautiful, and he can sing, and he is damaged, but he is so sweet and kind and adorable and misunderstood. And he is my heart. If there was just one person I could make come alive and live with me for the rest of eternity, it would be Kellen Kyle. He is just a beautiful baby cupcake. That's all I can say. I love him. I love him. I love him. He's mine. He's mine. Not yours, he's mine. Okay, so you want to know what this book's about, right? All right, Kellen Kyle is an up-and-coming musician in the Seattle area. He lives on his own, has his house, has kind of an inheritance that he got, and he is a singer, and he is a rock singer, and a very, very popular one at that, and he's gorgeous. He's stunning, and I will try to put in a picture of who I think Kellen Kyle looks like, and I think most of the huge Kellen Kyle fans also agree. We all kind of agree that this is who we think Kellen Kyle should be. And so he's this up-and-coming musician, like I mentioned. Now, Kiera is a college student who is from Ohio, and she has a boyfriend. So this is a love triangle. There is cheating. So Kiera decides, she's right in the middle of school, but her boyfriend, Denny, he's from Australia. They went to school together, they fell in love, and he is moving to Seattle for a new job. And so Kiera decides she's going to actually transfer schools and go follow her boyfriend. It's her first major boyfriend, her first love. And so she travels to Washington to go to school there and to be with him. Denny has known Kellen from his childhood. He was an exchange student, and so Kellen offered to allow them to move into his house with them as roommates, and so Kiera could go to school and Denny could start work. Well, Denny's job makes him go out of town a lot, and he doesn't really give Kiera the attention that she needs, and she has this immediate connection to Kellen the first time she sees him sing. It's like this like immediate love connection. They both feel it. They both tried to hide it and ignore it, and it is their love story. I don't want to give any more away. I will say there is 3 books all about Kellen and Kiera. You want to hate Kiera so badly, but also at the same time, you kind of get where her head's at because it's in her point of view. There is also a 4th book that is the same exact book, but in Kellen's point of view. So it's just the one point of view. It is so good. And you get to know Kellen so well, and you fall head over heels for him. He is, God, he's so beautiful. He's mine. I love him. Okay, so that's it for me. Those are my 7 book boyfriends. Hopefully one of these days I will have somebody who can dethrone Kellen, but as for right now, it's been a year and a half since I've read this series, and I'll say this series for me was so addictive that I immediately, after finishing the first 3, I tried to read another book and I just couldn't do it. I actually restarted and reread all 3 books back to back because I just could not get away from this story. I had to know more. I had to read more. I had to look at parts that I missed because I was going through the first time so fast that I wanted to slow down and read it. And then I was so obsessed with it the second time I read it just as fast. It's been a year and a half. I'm wanting to reread the series already. Like I said, I adore this book. Let me know what your boyfriends are. Who's your top 3? And if you have any suggestions, like I said, leave them in the comments below. I would love to learn more. Hopefully I will have another group of book boyfriends I can bring to you next year. But right now, Kellen has not been dethroned, and I doubt he will because he's just my beautiful cupcake. All right, guys, have a great day.